the possessions more. We got to have more possessions. We got to limit offensive boards. We got to execute correctly. John's got 17 points the last 2 fourth quarters, and this highlight to boot.
Listen, it don't count, man. But you can show this all day. I mean, it didn't count. But wow, did he just put it on his head?
This man, Ja Morant, back at it again. I don't think there's ever been a greater almost dunker in NBA history. Actually, I know for a fact it's Ja Morant as the greatest almost dunker of all time. This man has already posterized Victor Wembanyama officially, but this might have actually been the greatest dunk of all time, and it didn't even count. The fact that Victor jumped and got pissed on blows my mind. Ja Morant must be stopped. Psych. Matter of fact, he must keep going. There's been something going on weird with the Grizzlies. They're winning games. They're third in the West. They're ahead of teams like the Nuggets, the Mavericks, Timberwolves, a lot of teams that were expected to be better than them. But Ja Morant's only playing 28 minutes a game. And if you're not familiar with basketball, that's about 7 to 8 minutes less than what he's normally played over the course of his entire career. And you take a look, and his numbers are taking a hit because of it. He's averaging 21 points per game, just about the lowest of his entire career outside of his rookie season. And why is that? Why are the Grizzlies not playing Ja Morant as much? Well, it's simple. He's coming back from an injury. All right, they're trying to work him back into the lineup. We know he's injury prone as a guy that bouncy, as a guy that athletic. His muscles just can't really handle the amount of bounce he has. I see him dunking on 7'7" Victor Wembanyama, and he's 6'3". So yes, he's injury prone. Yes, he's on minutes restriction, but this team is still third in the West. And we are pre-All-Star break. So a lot of the NBA games, a lot of basketball at this point doesn't really mean much. Actually, it doesn't mean shit. That's why they had to come up with an entire in-season tournament just so people thought that these games actually mattered. But regardless, to be third seed at any point in the season is pretty good, especially with them not having as much top-tier talent as Thunder or as the Nuggets or I could say the Lakers. But the most important thing here is Ja Morant is back, and he might even be better. Now, the best year of his career undoubtedly is 2021 when he averaged damn near 30 points. He was the best point guard in the league. People were saying he was better than Curry, even though Curry won the chip that year. But this year, Ja Morant is shooting one of the better percentages of his career. He's shooting 31%. Last year, he shot 27. Now, there is a smaller sample size this season, but it still means something to be shooting better than you were the previous year. But the real question here isn't how many almost dunks can Ja Morant have. The real question is, how far can this Memphis Grizzlies team go? We've seen them make it not too far in the playoffs. They got taken down by the Golden State Warriors that year. That Golden State Warriors won the championship. We've seen them be in the play-in a few seasons ago. Of course, last year, Ja Morant was dealing with a bunch of nonsense when it came to shooting blicks and whatnot. So we don't actually know what this team looks like fully healthy, fully loaded, fully prepared for the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team plays. Now, of course, they have Jaren Jackson Jr., who's one of the better stretch fours in the league. Fantastic defensive player, won Defensive Player of the Year 2 seasons ago. So they have the pieces that are required in the playoffs. You have Zach Edey, who this year isn't making as big of a splash as Grizzlies fans wanted to see. He's only averaging about 9 points, 7 rebounds, just about a block a game. And a guy as tall as he is, you want to see those block numbers go up to at least 2 or 3. But regardless, he's just a rookie. They're working him in. He's not playing too many minutes. He's playing about 18 minutes per game. So that's going to come with time. And of course, after the All-Star break is when basketball really starts to matter. That's when the season starts to get serious. People start grinding harder. People start playing harder. Defense becomes more apparent. Physicality is more obvious. And just a little bit about everything about basketball kind of turns up a notch after that All-Star break. And then, of course, come playoff time, that's when it's a whole new level of basketball. Everybody knows that it's not even comparable. The NFL, you can say regular season is comparable to playoffs, but just not the same for the NBA. So this team, the Grizzlies, is going to be an interesting team to watch. But I just thought it was crazy that this man Ja Morant's always doing some wild ass shit, like putting his nuts on niches that's fucking 8 feet tall. So I thought I'd point it out. I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, stay tuned. Peace.